I first switched over to a plant-based way of eating in 1979. And it's one of the best things I could ever have done, because one of the first things it did is when I realized I wanted to change the way I was eating, it made me a lot more knowledgeable because I began to read the ingredients. Never before had I read ingredients. Growing up as a young person, you grow up, you just go buy a bag of potato chips. You just go buy some popcorn. You just go buy a soda. You don't read it unless you got some type of allergies or something like that. So once I changed the way I was eating and started eating a plant-based meals, because I don't like to say diet, because diet sounds like die. And so, I don't diet, I live it. So I say, plant-based meals or plant-based eating habit. And once I, switched to a plant-based eating, I started reading everything. So that made me a lot more knowledgeable. And then, if you have to cut out chicken and you have to cut out pork and you have to cut out beef, you have to figure, okay, what do I eat instead? So then I got open to a whole lot of vegetables and fruits that, I never paid any attention. And that's what makes me real helpful when it comes to trying to teach people how to eat right, because it's not like I was born a vegan. I was born in 1958. My parents were from Alabama. I ate the same things people eat now, meatloaf and chicken and barbecue. And I loved it and I enjoyed it. But I got older and when I started getting right out of high school around 19, I started, realizing that I had to take better care of my health. I was seeing a lot of older people getting sick. And really thanks to people like Dick Gregory, it really helped me to see that it was a lot of poison involved with what we were eating. So I looked into it and I changed the way I was eating. And that was one of the best things I could have ever did, because like I said, that made me real knowledgeable. I started reading, I started studying, I became aware of a lot more vegetables. Also, I corrected my taste buds, because when you grow up and you eat a lot of artificial food, your taste buds are ruined. So now artificial tastes normal and good, and real food doesn't taste so good. A lot of times your food, you put so much salt or ketchup or mustard on it that you don't even know what you're eating anyway. So my taste buds heal, and I can taste real natural flavors and regular food, and I'm not adjusted or readjusted to tasting artificial food, because that just rearranges your whole taste buds. And from eating plant based, I just came to the realization that, plants are good all the way around. Because I started noticing, cotton and hemp, and I started noticing all these plants and how they could, build homes and make medicine and food. And, you could go to coconuts and get your water. Because when I lived in Hawaii, a lot of us that lived in Hawaii, we didn't drink water anymore because we drank coconuts all day, coconut water. So we didn't drink regular water. So it's just a whole nother world. And as I started studying it, because I like psychology and philosophy, I started looking into the whole idea of plants, and that just opened my mind up to how plants were the opposite of us. And on one side of life, you have, people and animals, chickens, cows, people. And on the other side, you have plants. And, these chickens and cows and people breathe out. What they breathe out, the plants breathing in, the plants taking in, plants making, and the plants put the oxygen back out. And then us and the animals take the opposite. So, it's the animals and us, and then it's the plants. It's not us and then the animals. So the animals are not the opposite of us to be eating. The animals are supposed to be categorized with us. And when you look at animals and you see animals, you say, well, animals eat meat. Certain animals do eat meat. Certain animals eat meat. Certain animals are vegetarian. Like elephants are vegetarians, rhinoceros, vegetarians, hippopotamus, giraffe. So some animals eat meat, some animals are vegetarian. But the thing is that looking at history or looking at the environment and what somebody's doing, man has got to a point where our science is greater than that. We don't have to do that. So we got to the point where we can look at real science and we can look and say, hey, look, what's my blood pressure though? Eating this pork and all this salt. How old is my heart compared to my body? Is my heart 5 to 9 years older than my body? How is this dead flesh really making its way through my intestines? Is it really getting out fast enough, or is it rotting in there? Will I get sick from the meat if the animals were sick? Because one thing about it, if I grow some spinach or I grow some squash and the squash gets sick, you can look at that squash looks sick. You can't even sell it. But see, a human being or a cow could be sick and not necessarily look sick. So you'd be buying a cow and buying these animals, and they might not even look like they got cancer and all these other deadly diseases, and then you're cutting it up and eating it. This is something people got to look into. Or as I looked into the situation, I realized, okay, there's a lot of plants out here. And I'm starting to notice that a lot of these plants got like all type of medicinal benefits. Even the simple things like garlic and onion and lemon got all type of benefits. How lemon, you can use lemon to clean, you go and you buy cleaning liquids, and why they got the lemon in there? For the smell. See, the benefits of the smell, but also for the disinfectant potential that lemons have. So you have to wonder to yourself, are we neglecting the plants, and are we doing enough research in depth on plants? Or are we just overlooking plants and just cutting down plants and not identifying what they could do? Could they be the greatest building material? Could they be a source of energy? Could they be medicine? Could they be teas and herbs and foods? Are we walking around with a lot of sicknesses and stepping right over the plant that could cure the sickness? Because if you think practically, you think, okay, you're on a planet. You're a bunch of people, you're on a planet. And from the looks of it, the planet provides what you need. It looks like the planet gave you intelligence so you can create things, and the planet has things here that's available for you to take and create other things, to make things, to manufacture things from things that are already created. So you got to ask yourself, well, if the planet provided all this, did it provide medicine for every illness? Seems logical to me. Seems like some weed we stepping over or that we cut down and pulled up to build a golf course, that weed probably cure AIDS, cancer. These things were put here in a way for you to take them in a natural way and get a natural result. It was put here for you to be able to, be around fruit and vegetables and things growing and eating it and getting the natural vitamin A and B and C out of these fruits and vegetables. But see, we gotten away from plant life and got too much into manufacturing everything and making new materials and not wearing natural materials, not building our homes out of natural products, not eating natural food. We're just making a whole bunch of unnatural stuff. And then when the waste from that stuff, because it's unnatural, it don't break down back in the earth naturally. It breaks down unnaturally. So then that's how you get all this pollution and waste everywhere. And you get landfills with stuff that won't never break down because it's unnatural the way it's put together. A lot of people, you'll show them this video and you'll say, I'm thinking about, becoming vegetarian or vegan. And they might give you a whole bunch of slack. Because what they want to do is they want to put vegan and vegetarian against meat. See, that's not the argument. Don't let nobody fool you. It's never about, oh, you stop eating meat, you going against meat. It's only about you taking care of yourself. It's only about you taking care of your health. Now, if you feel you can eat meat and that's going to be taking care of your health, that's on you. That's on you. But for some people, if you do your research, you'll find out that is not the case, that eating dead flesh deteriorates the body, deteriorates the mind, and also it cuts down how much fruits and vegetables you eat instead. So when that hamburger and that steak is in your stomach, look how many more vegetables that could be in your stomach instead of that, and look how much more you would get out of that variety of vegetables and fruit than you getting out that lump of burger or that lump of steak. You better open your mind. When somebody tell you, I don't know what I'm talking about, you got to think it's two things. They scared because a lot of people get scared. When you want to change your life and better your life, they don't want you to better your life. Because in their mind, it's side, this side against that side. And when you better your life, you make their side weak. And that's how they look at it. They want you to be like one of us. You're supposed to be one of us. And when you want to take care of yourself, now they want to make you one of them. And it's not even about that from your point of view. You just want to take care of yourself. You don't want to be taking high blood pressure pills from the age of 35 years old. You don't want to look up and every winter you catch a cold. Every winter you got the flu. Every time you look up, you sick. Your stomach upset. You got headaches. That ain't natural. When I changed, I thought that it was the right way. But after actually doing it, oh yeah, there's no doubt it's the right way. You have to be feeling good. Your body have to be feeling good. And those things are in the plants. Don't let nobody fool you. The plants have your medicine. They have the nutrients and things in there you need. Start studying plants and start looking at the benefits of plants and how you can get something out of that. Then you're going to realize, you're going to start wanting, more natural materials in your home. You're going to start thinking about what you're washing your clothes in. You're going to start thinking, women, you're going to start thinking about, okay, what's in them tampons and what's in them pads? Are you putting on a GMO pad and putting it down there where you wide open at and you bleed and you got this poison that somebody made and you don't know what they doing? So then they just wake up. Everything is not just eating. That's just the start. And once you change the way you eat, you help everybody. Because it starts with that and then it grows into this whole environmental thing. And as it grows, then we need a lot of people. Because when you get to the higher level, the less you can do by yourself. So I could change the way I'm eating and eat plant-based by myself. But I need you to go plant-based and eat too and take care of just yourself. And that way you'll get to the point you'll be like, hey, they cutting down too many damn trees. Because to stop them from cutting down all the trees and flooding our houses and ruining our environment, it take all of us. That's nothing you can do by yourself. You can take care of your colon, you can take care of your spleen, you can take care of your heart, you can take care of your liver and your kidneys by eating vegetables and plants and fruits and herbs. But you can't stop them from cutting down all the trees by yourself. If they haven't done all the necessary researches on the plant, that means every time you eat an avocado or a cucumber or a lemon or orange, it might be helping you way more than the scientists have even looked into. So you sitting up there, you eating good, you eating oranges all the time, and 20 years from now I come on and say, man, if you eat oranges, man, you're going to be great. And you're like, wow. So that's another thing, eat a variety of plants. Because society is slow and have not let us know all the benefits of these herbs and plants. Well, eventually if we can get people to change the way they eat, then we can get them into looking into hemp and how you can build homes with hemp. And manufacture cars from hemp. And use hemp as the fuel. And how we can, use wood and glass and paper straws and stop using plastic straws and plastic bags. And how we can have better bottles to put our water in. So you're not drinking all that plastic. And then you won't want all that fluoride in your water. And the more you don't want these things, the easier it becomes for me not to have these things. So we need a lot of people to wake up, to be vegan, to go green, to be no GMO, to be worried about climate change. That's what it is. Legalize hemp. Let's get hemp cultivation going on. We don't have to cut down all these trees. We can get all the paper we need from hemp. Why are we cutting down trees that could be growing 20, 30, 40, 50 years for some paper, for some toothpicks, for some chopsticks, for some pencils? All that stuff could be made from hemp. Houses, everything. You look up hempcrete and there's big pieces like brick made from hemp. They build homes out of it. Try to eliminate so much artificial flavors and colorings in your food and in your children's food. You got to watch these companies selling you this poison. They'll do anything for $1. And when you get sick, that's more money. Because you got to go buy all these medicines. You go to the grocery store and they got a pharmacy right there with the grocery store. You go to Walgreens, the pharmacy, and it's got all this other stuff. On one side, they selling you poison, and then back at the pharmacy, they got the medicine you're going to have to go get after you go mess with this stuff they sold you up in the front. And I tell people all the time, when it comes to people that's making money, that's selling you things, they don't care nothing about your health. They into it for the money. And they will sell you anything. Start finding people that want to sell you healthy food. Everything you need is in the plants.